The Matrix is a system, Neil. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people you are trying to save. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged, and that makes them our enemy. Were you paying attention to me, or were you looking at something else? Look again.
Pika pika!
Hello everyone, I'm here in Tokyo, Japan at one of the most famous intersections in the world. That would be Shibuya Crossing, or the Scramble as the Japanese like to call it. What makes this place so famous is it has a high volume of automobile traffic and pedestrian traffic all converging in at the same time, which you could imagine creates a traffic nightmare. So somebody came up with the brilliant idea that probably went something like this. Hey, why don't we turn all the stoplights at Shibuya Crossing red, and then the pedestrians can cross any which way they so desire. 2 or 3 minutes are up, the lights turn red, and the traffic can go. Hence, the Shibuya Crossing was born. Today's adventure begins with us exiting the train at Shibuya Station. This is ground zero for the Shibuya Crossing. This is where all the action is. At first glance, this place looks like any other intersection at any other major metropolis. Everything is in order. The people are lined up, waiting to cross while the traffic moves effortlessly from one side to another. Trust me, compared to some other major cities in Asia, Japan has their act together. I can think of only a handful of countries in Asia where traffic is not total chaos, and Japan is one of them. I liken Shibuya Crossing to that of Times Square. It's a very lively and robust place to visit. The Scramble seems like any other major city in Asia. There are beautifully sculpted statues all around, along with busy side streets coupled with street performers out there hustling, looking to make a buck, or possibly be discovered as the next big thing. But you haven't seen anything yet. The magic is yet to happen. For the magic happens when the street lights turn red and the walk signs turn green. You are about to learn why they call it the Scramble. As the light turns green and you begin to walk across the street, you get that feeling you get when you see a giant wave that's about to smash into you. You're about to enter the pedestrian vortex of chaos. I don't know which is more chaotic, to walk through it or to sit it out on the side and just watch the masses migrate through. For sure, it's a sight to be seen. People come from all different directions. You can try to pick a spot where you're not in the way, but you'll soon learn that it's not possible. But to truly appreciate the chaos, you absolutely have to walk through the Scramble. In this shot, I did my best to give you a sense of how crazy it is to walk this intersection during peak times. Nobody adheres to the crosswalk. You can walk in whichever direction you choose. With all the people and the bright lights everywhere, it can be overwhelming. They say Shibuya Crossing is one of the busiest intersections in the world. Depending on what time of day you're here, that's easy to believe. If you want to experience Shibuya in all its glory, I recommend coming here around 6 p.m. There seems to be a decent crowd passing through at that time, not to mention a number of people simply just hanging out. Of course, this place is on everybody's must-do list when it comes to all the Instagram models who absolutely must have their infamous selfies. People stop in the middle of the street trying to get the perfect shot, but you only have 3 minutes to do so. And then there are people like me, the vlogger who walks back and forth across the street trying to capture the true sense of what it's like to walk across Shibuya Crossing. I was here for hours trying to capture that experience. One thing is for sure, when 3 minutes are up, you best move your ass if you don't want to get ran over. Okay, walking through the scramble is cool, but in order to really appreciate the chaoticness, you really need to go to an elevator view to totally appreciate the scramble. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to try and find a place where I can take some high ground and get some good shots of the scramble. There must be some place I can go to get a bird's eye view of the scramble. In the olden days, the go-to spot to get a bird's eye view of the scramble was Starbucks. So I'm going to head over there and check out the view. Also, afterwards, I'm going to discuss a few other options you might want to consider. For some people, Starbucks is the perfect place to chill. Well, it is a good spot to sip $6 drinks, chat, and watch people. This Starbucks location must be raking in the money, because I have never seen a time when it wasn't busy. Just be prepared to wait for a seat, especially if you want to be near the window. Those seats are at a premium. People come from every different direction. It's easy to see why they call this place the Scramble. This is definitely one of the best places to get a good view of Shibuya Crossing. As I mentioned before, Starbucks can be a good place to get a somewhat bird's eye view of the scramble. But the problem is, you end up waiting a significant amount of time for a seat. But if you're patient enough and you wait long enough, you can make that happen. There are some better options than to go to Starbucks. Depending on how much coin you have can determine how good an experience it will be. But I'm going to be focusing on the budget traveler. There are some budget options. For 600 yen, that's about $6 US, I recommend heading to Magnet. This place offers an amazing view of the scramble. Maybe it was the time of day I came, but when I was there, the place was empty, and that's just the way I like it. Magnet has a balcony that offers you a grand view of Shibuya Crossing. For an additional fee, you can also take a kick-ass panoramic of yourself and the scramble. I didn't try it, but judging by the pictures I saw online, it looked pretty awesome. Once you are on the balcony, you are automatically drawn to the edge where you'll see the scramble from several flights up. It's a nice place to chill for a few minutes, and the view will leave you awestruck. You don't have to wait long to see the people scramble across the street. In a matter of moments, the intersection transforms from order to instant chaos. It's really cool to see. From this view, you really begin to feel like you're watching ants navigate around each other. I don't know if you can tell from this view, but it's clearly not as chaotic as it once was out here. I first got here at 6 o'clock in the evening, and yeah, now it's about 10:15. You can see it's far less people here. It was total chaos when I first got here, and you were bumping into people. It was like no room for anything, but now it's starting to thin out. Now it's time to discuss the mother of all views when it comes to the scramble. And the best part is, it's totally free. Sort of. For this view, you have to go up. Way up. First, you need to head to Shibuya Excel Hotel. It's located next to Mark City. When you find it, head inside and take the elevator to the 5th floor. The elevator will let you out here. Once you get out, you need to go directly to the elevators across the hall. Okay, this is very run and gun. I'm going up to the 25th floor, so camera footage might be shaky because I don't plan to be up here that long. I expect to get kicked out. This one requires you to be clandestine, so if you're not about that life, this ain't the option for you. If you can make it to the 25th floor, you will be rewarded with one of the best views you are ever going to get of the scramble. But don't waste time and make the most of the moment, because the Excel Hotel employs security guards who routinely check this area for people who don't belong in the hotel. This view is reserved for guests only, so if you're not a guest, you will be asked to leave. But don't let that discourage you. From this height, you really gain an appreciation for the scramble. From this view, the people really do look like tiny ants as they scramble across the street. Unfortunately, it wasn't as busy on the street as it once was by the time I got up here, but it was still an awesome thing to see. And I saved my favorite part for last. Do you see that dark area in the right part of the screen? That dark area is the most awesome part of Shibuya Crossing. They totally built a soccer field on top of a building. How awesome is that? If I lived in Tokyo, I would totally play soccer here. And I don't even play soccer, but I would, bad ankle and all. The key to getting to the 25th floor is to get on the elevator with the hotel guests, because you're not going to get up to the top otherwise. But yeah, I just went up there and came back down before the security guard had a chance to kick me out. They kicked me out last time. It's not that big of a deal. They just asked you to leave, but I figured it'd be easier just to go up and go down. I already got a bunch of footage.